Good afternoon, it's Tuesday the 3rd of March and it's about 1:30. I've come down to the canal today, you can just see it behind me here. I'm not actually fishing today, but I've come for a look. I'm planning to fish either tomorrow or Thursday, Friday. I thought I'd come out and about and see what it's like. As you can see, the colour of it has improved. It was absolutely chocolate before, some of that's dropped out now, so it's visible enough to fish, I think. The problem I've got at the moment is the toe paths, and I don't know if you can just see along there how they're all completely churned up at the moment along here. And if I go over the other side, they're exactly the same down here. And as you can see right down the bottom there, it makes it very difficult to get your barrow along when it's like that. But I'm going to carry on having a look, see if I can find an accessible spot that I can get to quite easily. With me, I've brought a tub of mashed bread. I'm going to put that into some likely looking spots, a little bit of pre-baiting, and I've got a couple of handfuls of boilies as well with me. 15 mils, which I'm going to put in likely spots because I'm going to start carp fishing shortly. So down on here, didn't get to do much last year for health reasons, and I'm hoping to improve on that this year and get right back into it. Anyway, I'm going to carry on having a look down the canal, see if I can find somewhere to fish. Good morning, it's 9:45 on Wednesday the 4th of March. I've come down to the canal today, hopefully to do a spot of roach fishing. I was originally going carp fishing, but we had a frost again last night. It was -1. It's only going to reach a high of 6 today, but as we go towards the weekend, it's going to warm up and it's going to get above 10 degrees, and it's only going to be about 3 or 4 at night. So I feel my chances for a carp are better as we go towards the weekend. So that's why I'm down here today. I think there's more chance of me catching a few roach. I've just literally arrived. I came for a look yesterday and checked out a few spots to see if there was anywhere where I could fish where it wasn't too mucky and I could get the gear along and get the car relatively near. And I've settled on this spot here. It's a spot I have fished before, although it didn't fish very well when I fished it back in the summertime, but I thought I'd give it a go and we'll see what happens. Anyway, I've just literally arrived and dropped the gear off, so I'll get all of that set up and then I'll start fishing and talk to you then. It's just starting to warm up nicely. Potted in some mashed bread about 20 minutes ago. Let that settle. Plumbed up beforehand. I got about 2.5 feet just on top of the shelf there, and I found a slightly deep hole just to one side. Slightly deeper hole by a couple of inches, so that's the bit I'm going to fish. I'm going to start off on a 4mm punch today. And see if we can catch something, but it has warmed up quite a bit, so I'm a little bit more optimistic. lay that in there so I don't get tangled up in amongst any brambles. At least the canal's not towing very badly. There we are. The first fish of the day. Very small, but very welcome. And I think it might even be a roach. It is. Got to break the pole down twice, otherwise I'm going to get the cars coming up the road will run over the end of it. Right, let's net you. You'll do. Beautiful. Pop you there and I'll put the keep net in now. Well, that's one in the net anyway. There's another one. Come to me. Nice stamp as well. And even the sun's come out. I haven't been down the canal for a little while because there was so much rainwater running in, they just went a chocolate colour. And it was absolutely pointless coming down and fishing, to be honest. And I came down yesterday for a look and it had cleared, and that's why I decided to come down here today instead of going carp fishing. Just thought there was a bit more chance of getting a bite down here. There we are. I was getting a bit worried then. Been very quiet. I'll swing that one in, I think. See how it goes a minute, then I might try a bigger punch if I keep getting a few. The bread mash I brought with me today was 50-50 white and brown, and the reason why I chose that is because I wanted something that would sink quite quickly, but also with the brown in there, the bread punch stands out against it a little bit more than it does pure white, and that's what I was hoping, is that any fish that were out there would spot that against the darker background. Woodpecker. Nice to hear things like that when you're out. Just had another nibble then. Yeah, it's still there. Oh, yeah. Yep, some absolutely lovely roach. We'll have a look at the end, it's easier. I'm going to move that camera a minute because the sun's come out and it's in the way of the camera. I've actually got the shotting pattern strung out. The fish, I started off like that, the fish seem to be quite high up in the waters where I'm getting the bites, I'm getting them on the drop, not once it's hit the deck. Still, I've got 3 or 4 fish so far. That's 3 or 4 more than I expected to get today. Things went quiet a little while back, so what I did was I potted in another small pot of bread mash, and at the same time I changed the elastic from 4 to 6 down to a 3 to 4 because they're only small roach that I'm getting. They're not the large hybrids or big bream that I catch from here. I'm still on the size 4mm punch. I might try a 6 shortly. I was waiting for it to pick up a little bit. But I've just had quite a nice roach in the net. They're not huge today, you know, they're 3 to 4 ounces. Some are probably even a little less than that. But quite surprised I haven't had any skimmers show up yet. Normally when you're fishing down here, get a little run of roach and then you get a couple of skimmers and then a little run of roach again. But as I've said, they've mainly come on the drop today. It's been I would estimate at about 1.5 foot down. 1 or 2 off the bottom, but mainly on the drop. But since that sun's gone in, it's certainly gone cold again. Touch on the float then. There we are. Oh, quiet for a long time again, and then I think it's dried up. That's another nice roach. There we go. They're not massive, but they'll do. I don't think I'll stick it out too much longer though, because since that sun's gone in, it's got decidedly cold. And it's got a little bit chilly on the hands. You probably won't have noticed on the camera because you're thinking I've switched it off now and again, but I actually haven't seen any boats today, which is highly unusual. It's obviously a little bit cold for them to be going up and down the canal. So the canal isn't towing as it normally does, you know, either one direction or the other. It's just sitting there, and every now and again it seems to drift a little bit to the left or drift a little bit to the right, but hardly anything. I expect 1 or 2 boats coming past might have actually improved things. And the drift that I've got really is caused by the wind, not by any tow on the canal. Still, I'm just quite grateful it's actually fishable. bit fed up with making trips to places that were just impossible to fish. Down at the Welton Canal, where I made a video last year, a trip down memory lane, they're building a housing estate all round the back of there now, and they're actually pumping in or draining in the surplus water that's on the site at the moment, so it's really like liquid mud going into it. And I went down there and I tried to fish it. I couldn't even get a bite. It was so coloured, it was unbelievable. Normally this time of year, all of the roach tend to gather up down there. It's really good, so it's a bit of a shame. And then I've had several trips to the river, wasted trips to be honest. Went over to the Avon at Fladbury. I couldn't even get near to the river. It was up over the banks, and you couldn't get anywhere near the platforms or anywhere else to sit. So I said I've been down here on a couple of occasions, and with the rainwater pouring in, it's just been too coloured to bother with. Might have been alright fishing chop worm down the middle or something for some perch, but I couldn't really be bothered with that, to be honest. Keep moving round the peg a little bit, going closer to the back, coming nearer to me and moving to the left and moving to the right, but doesn't seem to be making much difference. Should imagine the poor old fish are comatose. Ah, here comes the rain that was forecast as well, so I think I will be packing up in a minute. I've not got the umbrella with me. I don't fancy getting everything wet. Right, that's it. I haven't had a bite for a while, and the rain is coming down. I think I'm going to quit while I'm winning. I can always come back another day. I said I ended up on a 3 to 4 elastic. I was on a 0.3 of a gram silverfish float, and I've got a little back shot above that, and then evenly spaced out down the line to a size 18 hook. Main line was 3.2 I think, yeah, and the hook length's 2.6 today. I didn't bother going any finer. Anyway, I'm going to get more gear packed away and make tracks. Well, there we are. Today's catch, just a few roach. We had about 10 roach, that's all. Had some nice ones, there have been some good sizes for down here. Lovely stamp of roach. But they're not exactly climbing up the end of the pole, and as I said, the rain's coming in, so I'm going to get away. It is due to warm up as we move towards the weekend, so I'll probably get back out for a carp fishing trip, and then probably early next week I'll come back down here again and give it another go. Anyway, once again, thank you for watching, and until the next time, all the best with your angling. There you go.